Hey, it's Romy Wyser here. Welcome to my channel. This is the November intuitive reading for Scorpio. Happy birthday season for you. So if you're Scorpio, sun, rising or moon, this reading may well resonate for you. If it does, please go ahead, join me for the extended where we'll go into the conversation a little bit deeper. You can find the link for the extended by clicking on the downward arrow next to the video description. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel. Please do drop me a like and a comment and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. Let's go ahead and see what's coming out this month for you, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, so we have a beautiful new moon in your sign coming in on the 27th, 28th of October, and such a powerhouse of energies to help you reinvent yourself, to set about the beginning of a new path, bringing in an adjustment, or just deciding what area of your life you want to completely transform. There's quite a strong opposition with Uranus on that particular new moon, so the potential for the shock value is quite strong, and I feel like maybe for some of you, you will be announcing something or making a really bold choice that might ruffle a few feathers and surprise a few people. But as we enter into your solar returns and that real time of empowerment, I think you're ready to do that. There's a sense of focus and kind of laser precision on what you're doing and why that I feel is around you at the moment. So Ace of Cups energy coming in, of course, bringing about a new beginning for you as well, and a sense of renewal. Cups denoting that water elemental energy, which of course you're very at home with, Scorpio. I think for some of you who have a real focus in and around relationships at the moment, there's a desire right now to bond and to commit and to come together. You know, we have a full moon in Taurus, which is in your 7th house, happening on the 12th of November. The 7th house is about partnerships and connections. I think for some of you this month, you are looking to capitalize on that beautiful magnetic energy that you're going to have throughout this Scorpio season, and really draw in people that you feel on a level with, that you resonate with, and that you want to spend your time and energy on. Now, we do have Mercury in retrograde. We're in the shadow right now, and it's going to begin on the 31st of October, happening right through to the 18th of November. So during that time, you know, we can often see people and connections coming back from the past. We can see a time where we're reevaluating or reassessing relationships that we're in, coming to powerful new conclusions about that. So I think for some of you, it's going to be quite an interesting time as we move through that transit, to see what's getting thrown up and what you're considering and what that means. Ace of Cups, though, is also for me talking about that need to be deeply compassionate with yourself right now, to have that focus of renewal, self-care and love toward what you need. And, you know, perhaps if we're looking at this real reinvention of yourself, body, mind and soul, you'll be making some changes in your world, again, that might not, you know, live up to what other people are expecting of you right now or necessarily want from you. But, you know, you need to be healthily selfish at this moment in time. It's about finding more of a sense of balance and peace right now. Okay, 10 of Wands energy coming in, kind of a contrast to that Ace of Cups that we've started the reading with, but it makes sense in some ways, because this journey, I think, to get to this point in the year has felt arduous at times, and I think that you're ready to let go of some of the heaviness of that. You're ready to release the weight of it. And, you know, Scorpio, as a sign, you're not afraid of doing that deep inner work. It doesn't frighten you. You know, you're very at home connecting into your shadow self and going into the depth and trying to understand the layers of complexity and the energy that, you know, resides in the different connections, situations and what's unfolding in your life. But at the same time, you know, you're ready for a sense of completion. And I think that this new moon is going to instigate a desire for a profound change of direction in some area of your life. I think if we're linking into those of you that have a real focus around work or career right now, you could be looking at a month where there's just an awful lot on your plate, and I feel like the demands are exceptionally high for you at the moment. Everybody is super sensitive, and I feel that you are tuning in as you do to everybody's stuff at the moment. You got to be really careful not to absorb it too much. Sometimes that Ace of Cups, just the ability to connect in on that very loving vibration, but it can get overwhelming, and I think there is a sense of sort of overwhelm that's coming in for me a little bit with the Ten of Wands. Maybe you've got somebody who's stepping in and is trying to overwhelm you in some way as well. If we're talking about people coming back from the past with retrograde, for those of you focused on love and relationships, just be careful. Make sure you're not being coerced or pushed into something or to saying yes when it just doesn't really serve you at this moment in time, is what I want to say. So Mars is moving into Scorpio from the 19th of November. Mars is quite at home in Scorpio, and it's again giving you another real power boost to take the action and have that sense of drive to see something through. So I think what gets instigated around that new moon, even if retrograde has us having to revisit it, which I would say you need to fully anticipate, come the 19th, and Mercury will be direct, even though we'll still be in shadow, you will have that extra drive of energy to kind of push forward with something, and it's really supportive for you in that sense. Okay, so the Lovers card's coming through. This might be a Gemini that you're dealing with, but I think I also want to link into this activity that's going to be taking place around the full moon on the 12th, which is in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. So I think when we're looking collectively at the cards that have just come out here, this is, for those of you from a relationship perspective, this is denoting the need to come together or a sense of unity, but also that there's some challenges and problems that are still to be overcome with that Ten of Wands kind of sitting right in the middle of what the dream and the desire and the wanting a new beginning with something. This is a card for me of getting the balance right as well, and I feel that where communication might be a little strained or more challenging through retrograde season, there is a sense of like not giving up as well. With that Ten of Wands, you are almost where you want to be with something. Just careful you don't martyr yourself, or you come up against somebody who's trying to martyr themselves in order to manipulate or coerce a situation, is what I want to say. But the Ten of Wands in between those cards for me is just cautionary and something that you can actually deal with if you are aware and conscious and present. And I do feel that through this month, because it's your solar return Scorpio, and you don't miss a trick anyway, you pick up on absolutely every detail and every nuance. So I don't think that your head is in the sand in any way, and I feel like you'll understand exactly what's going on with the situation and why. But there's definitely an opportunity for some sort of new beginning or a new connection coming in for you that I feel once you clear some space for it. And maybe that's another note for some of you that, if it is a new relationship that you want, or a new connection in work, a partnership or some kind of collaboration that you're trying to bring together, you're going to have to create some space in your world to give energy and time and devotion and focus for that. So Nine of Swords energy coming through here is suggestive that there is still some stress and anxiety that is lingering. Now, the word lingering is coming through quite strongly for me, so I feel that this is something that's already on your radar. I think this is something you've already dealt with, but it's still hanging around. And maybe a returning energy or something that's been cast back up during this retrograde is reigniting these fears that are coming through for you right now. And for some of you, maybe if you are embarking on a new relationship, someone new's coming in, or there is a reconnection with someone, there probably is a lot of fear and uncertainty about how that might pan out and whether you are able to open yourself back up to that and the idea of that. Last month we talked about the fact there was an awful lot of endings coming through in that reading, but this beautiful vision of kind of what was to come. And I think as we start to take the first steps onto that new pathway, of course there's going to be some stuff that comes up that needs to get dealt with. But again, I feel like you're in a month where, you know, all the energies are coalescing and coming into play to support you, Scorpio. So just careful you don't move too much into the headspace where you're self-sabotaging, you know, any progress that you can make or any good that's coming into your world. Both of these energies are looking down and they're not prepared actually to look up and see exactly what's in front of them. So careful you're not getting mixed up with what you think the reality is in your mind rather than actually dealing with what is incoming. And sometimes, you know, it can be easy to sort of be clouded in the vision of things when we're in that retrograde period. So I would say, you know, as these fears are surfacing, if you do feel like they're causing a blockage or a challenge to you, in terms of moving forward with something, make sure you give it till after that 18th of November before you make any final judgment or decision on what you think is the potential of it. Okay, I quite like this Knight of Pentacles coming through for you because it's giving some lovely grounded earth energy that is, for me, offering that sense of trust. For me, this is an energy that's saying you're gonna make it to where you want to get to. You just have to have a little bit of faith and trust and consistency, and you need to not lose focus with it. This could be an earth sign that you're dealing with as well, Scorpio, okay? Capricorn, Virgo or Taurus. And actually, as we link it into the Ten of Wands and Nine of Swords in this conversation here, perhaps it's this earth sign that's actually causing you some sleepless nights or some stress and anxiety. If it is the case, I want to say that don't let it derail other areas of your life this month, Scorpio. I feel like I don't want your season to be hijacked, shall we say, by one individual or one set of circumstances, when there's an awful lot of good still coming into your world. And I feel like it's important that you don't ignore that. So regularly check in with yourself to see how much time, energy and thoughts are actually being taken up by one specific area or specific person. Okay, but if we're embodying that Knight of Pentacles, I feel really positive that actually the grounded energy, and I'm going to rely on that. You know, I'm going to rely on that person. So that means I'm going to be able to rely on myself right now. If that's embodying you, you have what it takes to keep going through this. And moving away from it. And what does that bring? It brings in balance. Now, I think if we're looking at those of you that are having a focus on career and work, then for me, this is new job opportunities coming in and contracts being offered. So there is a sense of opportunities opening up for you. So if you feel particularly overburdened where you are and you're ready for change, this is a fantastic time to really embrace that, Scorpio. I feel like the new beginnings that are coming through in your new moon, Ace of Cups energy coming in, is going to help you to move away from, you know, some of these more challenging energies and towards something that's going to bring much more justice and karmic balance into your world. You could also be dealing with a Libra energy with this particular card. But what I do feel is interesting is that if we look at this Knight of Pentacles as an earth sign somewhere in your world right now, they are, for me, they're so focused on one specific outcome, one specific activity, that I feel they're not even aware of the impact of what they're causing around you. Okay, so it's going to be up to you to almost put a bit of a block up and put a boundary in place. You know, when you look at Libra here, she's literally got her sword right in front of the Knight and just saying, you know what, just don't come in any closer right now. I need space. I need space to regain my balance, to keep my poise, and to feel anchored and to remain in my power. So if this is an earth sign that's causing you some trouble, I feel like you are being quite resolute in terms of how you're going to deal with that. Okay, but on a work front, I feel like this is actually bringing in new opportunities, and it's going to help you maybe move away from something that you're really not enjoying or is causing you an awful lot of stress right now in your world. So when we move into Sagittarius, later in November. It's moving into your second house, okay, which is money, possessions. It's all a focus on income around you. Interestingly, this house does also connect in with your sense of self-worth and self-esteem. And actually for me, that's really important when we look at the Ace of Cups, and also that we're in your solar return, so that that reality that's coming forth of you needing to reinvent yourself and honor who you are becoming, and really allow like a new sense of worthiness and confidence to emerge, and that kind of shedding of the skin to take place. I think that's going to be really positive for you as we move into that Sagittarius season. So we have Page of Wands coming in here. This could be a fire sign that you're dealing with as well, Scorpio. So an Aries, Leo or Sagittarius. When we place it here in the reading, again, this is somebody that may also be causing you some stress and anxiety. I feel like this is also, for me though, talking to me about communication, and actually that communication will improve as the month goes on. So if there is maybe some kind of breakdown or block, or you're waiting for something and feeling a little bit imprisoned, the Page of Wands for me is coming in and opening the pathway back up again. Okay, it's allowing that open and actually quite balanced communication. We've got Justice coming in there, remember, but you might have to wait some time for that to happen. Knight of Pentacles is not a fast moving energy coming in there. So I'm looking at this reading so far, and I'm thinking, if this is for those of you from a relationship perspective, it's coming in at so many different levels here. I think for people who are looking for a new connection, that opportunity is absolutely there, but you need to make space for it and let go of some of the fears that might be sabotaging things. I think some of you are going to be dealing with a really challenging earth sign right now. Something's going on in their world, but you know, you need to maybe create a boundary and be strong within your conviction of what you're wanting, but you also need to make sure that what you're saying and doing is coming from a place of integrity and quite a grounded energy. I think you have the capacity, Scorpio, to be quite direct and laser in your approach sometimes. And then there are those moments also when you know exactly what's going on, and you tend not to reveal, and you keep everything close to your chest. So Page of Wands is coming in and bridging that, I feel, with a kind of supportive, positive influence to help things flow, and actually to bring a bit of fire energy into this reading, which we need. Okay, so Three of Wands, I really like this coming through, because it's just for me, it's bringing us into Sagittarius season, bringing in that fire energy. But I also feel like this is you looking much further down the line now. You're assessing in this month of November as we look at your transformation and the new beginning that's been instigated, and you're ready for some new experiences to come through. Right next to the Page of Wands, I'm seeing a lot of communication and messages happening at this point in the month. Okay, remember, time's fluid, Scorpio, so these are things that could have just happened, or that, you know, may well come in just slightly out of November, but you know, this is what we're picking up in the collective energy for you just now. So this Three of Wands is also a wonderful card for me coming in if we're really focused on work and career. It's showing me that with diligence and hard work and consistency, you're going to be able to progress and actually step up. There's a leadership quality that comes through with this, which is really wonderful. Remember, you know, we're having that ongoing conversation with Saturn and Pluto, and the conjunct is going to take place on the 12th of January. This is in your third house, Scorpio. So for you, there's this deeper undercurrent happening at the moment, all about the way that you think and how you choose to express yourself. This is third house activity, right? The way you think, how you're communicating, how you want to communicate, how you want to be perceived. And I feel that you're really starting to understand what's happening in terms of that transformational energy. And you know, we've now got Pluto and Saturn moving direct, so these energies are quickening and you're moving forward with this. But I feel like there's a real understanding and sort of moments and epiphanies that are happening all through the month for you. And this is important regardless of what area of your life you're looking at, because it's transforming who you are and how you are engaging and connecting and showing up for yourself and other people. So we also have on the 27th of November, Neptune moving direct in Pisces. So it's been retrograde since 21st of June in your 5th house. So 5th house ruling children, beauty, creativity, and with it now moving direct, I feel like some of the ideas, the thoughts, the dreams, you're looking to see how you can actually bring them into a physical manifestation. And I think there's a need for you to sort of make some adjustments in your world in order to allow that to happen. Beautiful card to just come in and echo what we're talking about there with that Pisces and Neptune energy. So Page of Cups could be a water sign that's coming into the mix here as well, if it's not you, Scorpio, a Cancer or a Pisces. But for me, I feel like this is you embodying that creative energy and the need to express that in some way in your life. And you know, if we're looking at this from a relationship perspective, again, this is more messages coming in. So the bottom of your reading for me is really brilliant, like opening the floodgates in terms of feelings, emotions, having things brought up to the surface. But it all feels really positive. I do feel like we're looking at an expansion and an opening up of things that is going to help you if there has been any haziness through that retrograde period. I feel for those of you on a work focus, this is also saying, you know what, it's important that you tap into your own gifts and that you bring a little bit more colour into your world. When I say bring colour into your world, I just mean expand the way that you can approach things, be a little bit more out of the box, think more creatively, because it feels to me that's where you're going to have more solutions come in, more opportunities to connect with the right people, have synchronicities lining up for you, and also just that ability to feel more connected with what it is that you want to do or are currently doing, and just kind of fall back in love with it. I'm sort of linking in with Ace of Cups and Page of Cups at this sort of diagonal of your reading here, and there is something about needing to bond and to feel that heart connection with what you do or who you spend time with or what matters in your world. I think that's really important. I feel like you're having this change in your outlook and your value system going on this month, Scorpio, that's probably going to make you look at people a bit differently and actually like assess what needs to go and where you're kind of tired of particular ways of doing things or the way that people are showing up in your world, and you're just actually ready to let go of some of that kind of Nine of Swords energy, that restlessness, that anxiety and stress. I think the way that you're going to be able to really let go of that is to ground and to apply yourself and to the task at hand, with a note to be careful not to kind of overextend or take on too much. So your oracle card coming through today is Hunger, Scorpio. For me, this is saying, what is your soul hungry for? You know, you're ready to release some deep desires. You're ready to express yourself in a new way. This for me is about you tapping into your physical body and understanding the message that it's delivering for you just now as well. So how are you supporting yourself? You know, are you moving in the right way? Are you eating and nourishing your body in the right way? What are you listening to? What are you watching? Who are you surrounding yourself with? All of these energetic influences matter. You know, these are the things that are helping to bring about the renewal and a sense of vitality and energy in your world. This beautiful big yellow full moon for me is also denoting, you know, when we link into that 12th of November full moon in Taurus, I think the hunger for the connection, you know, it's like, what do I feel connected to? What am I devoted to? What am I passionate about? You know, that wolf needs to be connected into the moon energy. That's, you know, it's howling, it's calling out for its pack. So who are you looking to connect with? Do you need to bring new friendships into your life, a new social group? Are you looking for a new partner or a new person to work with? I mean, it has to be a really deep and bonded energy. I feel that's what you're looking for. I'm not looking at a light, frivolous energy here. Like, you're ready to just bring into your world somebody that resonates and vibrates on exactly the same level as you. But just take that time to really link in with yourself and understand what your soul's asking for right now. And I think maybe that's important if we look at, you know, those of you that are focused on love and relationships, because is the person that's showing up right now, whether they be someone from the past or whether this is somebody new, are they offering what you are looking for? Will they fulfill your needs? Are they going to present you with the options that make sense when you look at that vision of what happiness looks like for you? Okay, so we have a card of standstill coming through, this beautiful crane energy, kind of in the swamplands a little bit. I do want to say, for me, this is tuning into the energy of the retrograde, and I feel that it is that slowness that it inevitably brings about, where we have to just take a pause and actually look at what's happening in our world almost from a kind of slow motion perspective and say, okay, like we need to take accountability of why things are happening, what our part to play in it is. And it's not about rushing forward. I think it's an interesting kind of contrast to Ten of Wands, who's just constantly trying to push and strive, and actually the bird's quite you know, in a place of peace. So even though, you know, there's a standstill energy there, this beautiful kind of golden light that's coming in, that kind of feels like a sunset for me. It's that beautiful time of the day when you get to just stop and reflect. So don't miss out on that beautiful energy that retrograde can bring, that allows you to just go into that quiet inner contemplation about what it is that you need to understand about yourself and your life right now. And if we link that to the hunger, I think that it's what you can do in this standstill energy that's going to help you understand, you know, where you need to go to fulfill that hunger, to feel satiated, in that sense. Okay, Scorpio, I hope you have enjoyed the reading for November. If you'd like to join me for your extended, we're just going to take this a little bit deeper. So I'm going to pull out some clarifying cards just now, and we'll see what else comes up. We talked for about another 20 minutes or so in the extended, and it just often brings about a lot more detail on what is unfolding and why. So I'm just going to go ahead and clarify the Ace of Cups here. So we have Eight of Swords energy coming through. Oh, that one wanted to jump out. We also have Five of Cups. Okay, so definitely feels like there's some stress around that new beginning or that love connection coming in. Interesting. King of Swords energy coming through with the Ten of Wands. Could be an air sign you're dealing with here, a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, Scorpio. Strength card, okay. Could be a Leo energy, but we'll see what comes out there. Page of Cups again on top of the Lovers. A lot happening around relationships for you this month, I feel, Scorpio. Okay, we've got Five of Swords energy coming in. Let's pull one more for that just to see. Six of Swords, interesting. Okay, let's clarify this Nine of Swords card for you. The Devil, okay. And Two of Wands. Just gonna go ahead and pull one more on this. Ten of Swords, okay. Knight of Pentacles here, Scorpio. We have Seven of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. Justice is bringing in Knight of Wands, okay. And the Hierophant here as well. I think for work there's definitely contracts coming up for you, Scorpio. Okay, Six of Cups and Eight of Pentacles have fallen out here for the Page of Wands. Just going to go ahead with that. So Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles again, and the Star energy. Okay, that's going to be an interesting conversation to expand on. Page of Cups here. We have Temperance coming in. And we have Nine of Cups. Okay, and finally I'm just going to clarify these oracle cards for us as well. So we have Queen of Swords coming in here. And we have Four of Pentacles. Okay, Scorpio. Thanks so much for joining me. Do drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if it's resonated for you. And if it has, please go ahead and join me for the extended. And we are going to take this to the next level and see what else emerges in that conversation. I really look forward to connecting with you next month, and happy birthday season.